Welcome to Keep On Casting. We have a special treat today. We're fishing with Charlie Duke and Miss Dottie, his wife, out of Leeville, Louisiana, with Troy Robichaux. Charlie was on Apollo 16 and was the youngest astronaut to ever walk on the moon. So we're gonna get some great stories from him. Y'all stay tuned for another episode. Keep on casting.
Keep On Casting is brought to you by Thibodaux Regional Medical Center. Bronco Industries, leading the field in industrial construction and fabrication. Real Outfitters, proud to be the first family-owned tackle store in Thibodaux, Louisiana.
The main thing is you gotta watch that carp because they don't take them long to steal their shrimp, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So, and when your carp goes down, the easiest thing to do is to start reeling instead of setting the hook because you got so much slack in your line with the little bit of wind we have right now. And you got a long leader, so you just gotta watch we don't hook nobody. So what I do is I just try to make like a kind of a long, just kind of lazy cast, I call it. Just start right here and straight this way.
Yeah.
And it's not much to it. All we're doing is pop it, let it sit for a little while, and that's it. We have a couple of us fishing with a cork. I'm gonna have somebody else fishing a tight line on the bottom to see if the fish are on the top or the bottom, and see if we can figure them out. We're just gonna drift around right here, see if we can find some trout.
It's good sashimi right there.
That's a big trout.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Get him, bud. I saw him hit it. Way to go, bud.
You got another one.
Hooked up.
She's a fisherman, baby.
I got a bag of chips.
We went off of Waveland. We went off to Waveland, Mississippi, and everybody, the guy said, cast out there, and Dottie was just plopping it right over the boat, and she caught them all.
She told me that story.
I grew up in South Carolina, up near Charlotte, North Carolina. In my junior and senior year in high school, I went off to prep school. It's all boys military school because I wanted to go to the Naval Academy. And Lancaster was a textile town, and not too many people were going to college, and they didn't have a real good program for me to get in the Naval Academy, so I went off to prep school for 2 years. But it was a good deal because it was military, and so I learned to salute, learned to march, learned how to make my bed, how to say yes sir, no sir, polish your shoes. And so when I got to the Naval Academy, I didn't have to learn all that stuff. When I graduated in 1957, there was no Air Force Academy. So they would allow 25% of the graduates from Annapolis and West Point to volunteer for the Air Force. And so that's what I did. I wanted to fly, and I had a problem with astigmatism in my right eye. So the Navy said I couldn't fly with the Navy, but the Air Force would take me. And I didn't like sea duty particularly anyway, so I just went in the Air Force and never regretted it.
Wait, they said you couldn't fly?
The Navy wouldn't take me. They said you had astigmatism in your right eye and you don't qualify for naval aviation, but the Air Force will take you. So,
wow.
Boy, I bet you I've had 200 physicals since then in the last 60 years. and nobody's ever seen astigmatism in my right eye. So it was just intended for me to be in the Air Force, and I did fighter pilot, then got a master's degree at MIT and worked on the Apollo guidance and navigation system, then went to test pilot school and graduated from test pilot school in '65. In July and in September of that year, the NASA said they want some more astronauts. And so we applied, and 4 of us in my test pilot school got selected.
But that wasn't the first time you did.
Oh, Lord.
Good, Charlie.
What's up, Charlie?
Good.
It's a big something or other.
Another hit, bub?
Spanish mackerel.
Another big old mackerel.
All right.
Big mackerel or
First mackerel I've ever caught.
they like king mackerel when they're small.
Yeah, they do.
Dude, whatever's out there is just chopping my line off.
Yeah, I
As
got
soon
to
as
speak Spanish. We'll give it a couple more casts.
I throw it out there and it's gone. So, Charlie, what actually happened on was it Apollo 16 where they had some type of trouble or something?
Yeah, we had a main engine problem on the service module, which is your engine you use to get out of orbit. And he had to make a burn 1 hour before we would land on the moon to change his orbit so that if we had to abort, he would be in the right position for us to rendezvous. And so we aborted that burn, which meant we weren't going to get to land. And we were really disappointed, and of course. And anyway, we went around the front side, and Mission Control started looking at it and said, well, stand by. We'll see what we can do. And it took them 4 hours, but they couldn't fix it, but they had a workaround so that it got the engine, the secondary control system, back into operation. And so 6 hours behind schedule, they gave us a go for landing, and we landed. It was the last revolution for us, because if the moon was slowly rotating out from under our orbit, and our landing site was getting too far out cross range for us to make it, and that was the last. So it was the last opportunity we had to land, and then they. So we got. We made the landing, but that was the most serious problem we had.
Whoa, look at the shark.
Wow.
Look at the shark chasing him. Get him in, Charlie. Before the shark gets him.
Oh no! I still got him. Oh wow! Oh, he got him. Dadgummit.
Go.
Let's get re-rigged.
Man, that's a big. I'm glad I didn't catch him.
They're cutting my line as fast as I can throw it out there.
Yellowfin tuna.
The bay snapper. That's a Clem Robichaux yellowfin right there. Got to make a spaghetti out of that, guys.
I got one on here too.
I think we're tied up. Charlie, come toward me. Bring your line toward me. Yeah, I'm under you.
We're tangled up.
Yeah, I gotta go under you.
There you go.
Let me help you out.
All right. I gotta go back over you.
Okay.
You gotta go.
Let me move up this way. Whoop.
Jacks.
No.
Another jack.
What's your type of banana, doesn't it?
Yeah.
We call it the Jack Rebellion. Yeah.
So we stopped here at this rig, caught 3 mangroves, too many jacks. So we're gonna ease out a little bit. Little bow ain't feeling too good. I gave him a seasick capsule, it bounced back. There he is. Another one.
That's a nice one.
Good one. I'm gonna hook you up and let you reel him in.
Oh, how long are you letting it sink?
I was kind of just letting it down until I felt it stop.
Uh-huh.
A lot further than probably 20 count. Troy fishes them. He's just got a jig head. I don't know if this fluorocarbon or just straight to the leader or straight to the line, but this is a jig head, and he uses a fairly big hook. And I've talked to some other mangrove guys that use a big hook also. They say they'll catch the bigger fish easier like that. Also, if we come across a cobia, we'll be able to get him with this hook. So just another little swing on mangrove fishing.
Okay, here you go.
Still letting it down.
Huh?
Still letting it down.
No.
Far off right now. I guess real tight in.
You got a rig.
Hammer it. Oh, come off the rig, boy. Come off the rig. Oh. Oh, you got it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Got it.
You got one?
Yeah. He tagged.
You got the rig?
I said he tagged.
You got the rig. Yeah, you got the rig.
Hammered it.
Was he hung up on the rig? On the...
That's a nice one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a pretty fish. Get him, Charlie. You got to get him, get him, get him. He's trying to get in the rig. Get him out. Oh, that's a big one, dude. See if you can get him out the rig. Go, 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 go. Go.
I got him.
You got him now. Got him out the rig. Good job. Mangrove. All right.
Right here, we're gonna get a net on. There you go.
Wait it down.
That works.
Good job, Charlie.
All right.
Got a good one there, Charlie.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh, you
shit.
got a bait fish.
There's a bait fish.
Hey, keep
That's
that.
all she can do.
Caught him on the top. That's a good bait.
Good to eat. You got him. Get him out there, man. You got him. Good job. Oh, you got some mangrove. That's a good one. Yeah, perfect, perfect. Good job, Miss Dot. Good job. Well, folks, we have a special treat tonight. We're here with Mr. Charlie Duke. He was the youngest man to ever walk on the moon in 1972 on Apollo 16. And my kids are dying to ask him some questions, so he was gracious enough to accept. What y'all got, girls and boys?
Far away.
How long did it take to get to the moon?
In Apollo, it took 72 hours. So you leave Earth orbit going 25,000 miles an hour, but then gravity starts slowing you down, and they shoot you way out in front of the moon, because when you get to the moon, you got to slow down and get in orbit and then have enough gas to get out of orbit and back home. So that's why they picked 72 hours.
Oh, that's long. Wait, do you go in the rocket?
We have a 3-stage rocket. It's called a Saturn V. The big first stage was 33 feet in diameter. It was like 80 feet tall, 88 feet tall. And it had 4.5 million pounds of fuel in the first stage. And when they lit the 5 engines, we began to lift up, we began to move. And those 5 engines burned up all that fuel in 2 minutes and 42 seconds. So 4.5 million pounds of fuel were burned up in those engines in 2 minutes and 42 seconds.
Wow.
And then the second stage ignited, and it accelerated you up to 100 miles. And then it dropped off, and then the third stage accelerated you at a level at 100 miles to orbital velocity, which was 17,000 miles an hour.
Wow.
Revolution and a half later over Australia, we lit the engine again and accelerated to 25,000 miles an hour, and we were on our way to the moon.
Was it your first time in space when you walked on the moon?
Yes, I only got to fly one time in space, and that was Apollo 16. And so if you only get one time to fly in space, going to the moon and walking on the moon was the top. And so I was one of the 12 guys that got to land on the moon. We had 42 astronauts then, but only 24 of us got to go to the moon. And 12 of us got to walk, of those 24, 12 of us got to walk on the moon. So we were the 5th landing, and we stayed on the moon for 72 hours, and we're outside for a total over 20 hours. The longest outside was like 8 hours.
How old were you when you walked on the moon?
I was 36.
Some people left an American flag on the moon. What did you leave besides your footprints?
Well, we left a flag, and we left all our experiments. We left our car, the lunar rover. It's still there. And then I left a picture of my family on the moon. I left a medal, a little medal for the Air Force. I was an Air Force officer, so it was the 25th anniversary of the Air Force. And so we had a happy birthday celebration for the Air Force on the moon. And I dropped this coin about the size of a silver dollar onto the moon. It was in honor of the 25th anniversary of the Air Force. I left my moon boots on the moon, my backpack that kept me alive outside. We kicked it out the door before we lifted off, so we didn't have to have all that extra weight.
Could you see other planets from the moon?
No. When you're on the moon, it's always daylight.
Coming in.
So the only thing you could see was the Earth. But when we stood on the moon, the Earth was directly overhead.
Wow.
And it doesn't move. It's always in the same spot. So, and you look up, and in Apollo, you're looking up at the top of your helmet, which was covered over, so you didn't see it. Now, I could hold on to the car and bend back and look up, and I could see the Earth. And the sun was visible, but it's too bright, so you don't look at it. Those are the only 2 objects you could see up in the sky.
You got it. Get him, boy. Woo-hoo.
Is that enough bait?
No, it's just a head.
You got it, boy. In the boat.
I fit.
Right, you fit right over.
Yeah, I pulled it back.
That's a good one, dude. Get him, it's not. Hit him with top, you got him. Oh yeah, that's a nice one. No.
Where'd it go, Lola?
Best time to eat.
I didn't really feel anything.
You didn't?
Best time, bro.
Up. I got a man. Bingo.
You need the net?
Yeah. That's a heavy one. You good? Yeah, that big shrimp. Yeah. Good job, Josephus. You nailed it. Yeah, boy.
Is it that? Oh, I got it. Nice one.
That's a good one, buddy. Oh, tag it. No, get up there, boy. Oh, I got it. Huh? Redfish. A redfish. That's a redfish, but we're out the rigs out here. If you pass a 3-mile range, you can't keep them. So we'll release him back. Nice redfish. He fought good. Got it. Picked up.
Letting the line out, and I got one.
Use the net.
Nice. There we go.
Good job, brother. Good job there, Bobo. That's a mangrove. I think. Whew. Dominic hadn't missed that Kobe, we'd have a freaking bang-up trip. Hammer. Well, folks, we had a great 2 days here with Charlie Duke and Dottie Duke. Had a great time fishing.
Thank you very much.
Yes, sir.
We did too.
Thank y'all so much. Enjoyed meeting y'all.
It was wonderful.
As always, we want to thank our troops. Without y'all, we couldn't do what we're doing here today. And also heroes like Mr. Charlie Duke here.
Thanks, brother.
Until next time, keep on casting.
Oui, moi je danse avec les filles. Oui, c'est juste pour m'amuser.